Hello friends, I think we might be live. I'm coming to you from this Christmas tree near Roppongi Hills station. I just had a little assignment nearby that just finished, and I do have a little bit of time, so decided to do a little last minute stream. So I hope you will join me on this Christmas winter walk through Roppongi, which is an area that I don't come to very often. Taking advantage of the fact that the job was around here, and that's actually a pretty nice area to walk around. So, and today the weather is lovely, so I think this will be a good one. So you can see this area, there's just so many office buildings everywhere. The camera information is in the video description, so please take a look there. So let's start with a little weather report. So 15 degrees. Well, this is a little bit confused because it still says that I'm in Kawasaki, but yeah, 15 degrees and sunny. Very nice, and not much wind either. So yeah, crystal blue skies, really nice. So it will be a good walk today. So you know, I will give you a little bit of a location update as well. So we are here near Roppongi Hills station, also near the Embassy of Sweden. And my plan for the day is to walk down towards Roppongi station, and which we have Dokodaro. I'm not so familiar with this part of town. There we go, Roppongi station. And then we'll see. Then I'll take it from there. What setup do you use to record? Well, it's in the video description. A GoPro, no, sorry, not a GoPro. A Oneplus 8 Pro and a DJI Osmo Mobile 4. That's it. Very simple. One hour walk, yeah, something like that probably. We'll see. But I think 1 hour is a pretty reasonable expectation today. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm already a little bit hungry, so we'll see how we'll solve that problem. Mini Explorer is doing fine. She's very Genki today, in a very good mood. At least she was when I left this morning. Maybe that her mood can change pretty quickly, so maybe she's furious right now. But the latest update I got from my wife is that she's currently sleeping, so that's a good thing. Roppongi is pretty much a business district, yeah. Business, and parts of it is also famous for its nightlife. It's a really nice day today. Not a single cloud anywhere. Weather report. I did one 5 minutes ago. 15 degrees, sunny, blue skies, no wind. Pretty much a perfect December day. So I think I will turn right here at Roppongi station area, which is a little bit more going on around there. This is the Embassy of Sweden. I come here pretty often. Oh yeah, the astronomy club. There's a planetarium at the top of the Roppongi Hills tower. That's right. Yeah, not many cones around. Ah, but there's a few. Green one and 2 yellow one. There's cones. There's always cones, my friends. We're in cone paradise after all. Oh, Tokyo Tower hiding over there. Oh, hello S. Good to see you. You're not as frequent as you used to be, so it's always good to see you popping up in the stream again. There's plenty of apartments around here though. That building over here, that's a apartment building. Pretty sure that it's super expensive to live there. I don't know how much apartments are around here. No, I don't even dare to make a guess. some food trucks hiding in there. Would be nice to get some takeout for lunch. Oh wow, Embassy of Saudi Arabia is here. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. It's definitely expensive, yeah. I would say it's probably one of the most expensive areas in town. I'm heading towards Roppongi station and that area. That's my goal for now. Then we'll see how long it takes for me to get there and where you, my dear viewers, want me to go. I think I will let you do a bit of... Oh wow, lots of construction going on here. Looks like this construction site goes on for quite a while. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Roppongi. I never go here privately for its nightlife. I've been a couple of times, but that's always been on assignment, and it's not my kind of area. But I mean, it's very popular. A lot of people like it. So I guess it's more of a preference thing than anything else. Kimchi natto break later would be nice. Today nice weather. そうですね。Posters on the walls. Not sure what you're talking about. Maybe this? It just says to lower, like slow down and be mindful of the pedestrians, or more like show, like be considerate to the pedestrians. Beer time, no. Beer time never happens before lunchtime, so if anything it would be lunchtime that could potentially happen. Azabu Shogakko. So here's a Shogakko, that's like the... Is that what's translated to elementary school? Maybe. I have to wait. Let's wait in the shade. And wait while watching Tokyo Tower. Yeah, I'm also surprised how those tough guys, like if they ever actually manage to attract customers. They're like the least they make it less likely for me to go to those kind of clubs. But then again, I'm pretty sure that I'm not in their target demographic, so finally. I read that Japanese government will pay for vaccines for the millions of people in Japan. Yeah, that's correct. They've announced that they will make vaccinations free to the public here in Japan. But I think, isn't that the case for like most countries? By the way, please let me know if you're still seeing those notifications. Wait a moment. Yeah, I should be heading this way. I should. Down here you have a typical residential area. I wonder, yeah, I should be able to go through here. Okay, then so I get like this big obnoxious notification every time someone subscribes to my channel while I'm streaming. But I guess you're not seeing those, which is the way it should be. I'm heading towards Roppongi station today, and then we will see. They will be paying people to get vaccinated? That's a bit extreme. Roppongi station is not so far from here. I think I will get there in... Oh wait, I did just realize that I'm probably already lost, but that's okay. How unfamiliar I am with this part of Tokyo, but let's see, as long as I can cross. Yeah, looks like there's a crossing down there. Okay, Jenny, that's good to hear. Then it means that everything is the way it should be, as opposed to yesterday. We got the PS5. I have no plans on getting a PS5, so no. it's always fun to get lost in Tokyo. It's never really a problem. So we will be approaching Azabujuban instead of Roppongi. Azabujuban is also one of these really popular and expensive residential areas, especially among expats moving to Tokyo. They often want to live in Azabujuban. Down there is the Azabujuban crossing with the station, but I'll just be heading this way towards the more quiet streets. Learn Japanese. Didn't know that there were language schools around here, but not so surprising considering that there's a lot of expats living around here. What's your favorite bar in Roppongi? I don't have any favorite bar in Roppongi. No conveni or vending machines, really? Yeah, that's quite extraordinary. Oh, this is an interesting exterior. So, Azabujuban station here. Nice little shrine squeezed in between these buildings. Nice. Do not sit down. I wonder why expats have so heavily based around Roppongi. Probably location. I mean, it's extremely central. So it's quite likely that if you're here working for an international company, living in Roppongi would be quite convenient. And then there's a lot of, like, it's one of those parts of town where it's quite easy to get around without knowing any Japanese. So shop staff and so on are more likely to know English here than in other parts of the city. That's probably also part of the reason. and it's also like, I mean, it's very geographically central in Tokyo, so that's also good. You can get around into like most parts of the city very conveniently, especially if you are a car person. If you're relying on public transportation, it's not ideal because it's not that well connected actually with trains. So right now I'm heading towards Roppongi Hills, which is this massive building that you're seeing over there. And yes, this is live. Is the super chat broken today? Or is everybody just very careful about their money in Christmas times? Yes, this is really live, but I'm not going to endorse some anime that I haven't even watched. So I won't say what you're requesting. It's okay, Annie. You're one of my most generous supporters. So you really don't need to. You really don't need to do super chats every time. That's not necessary. Walking all of Japan sound possible to you? Over a very long period of time maybe, but right now, I mean, I have work, I have a baby at home, so my time is pretty limited. So I'm just happy if I can manage to squeeze in a live stream like this on a almost daily basis, no matter where it's from. That's my goal for right now. Oh, thank you, Jennifer Herring. Okay, that just proved that the super chat is working. Thank you. Have you ever taken JLPT? No, never. Mostly because I've never really felt the need to, because I'm not really applying for like a job or anything here, so yeah. Oh, thank you, Serafina, thank you very much. What are you thinking for lunch today? That's a good question. I don't really have anything specific. I might be meeting up with my wife and daughter in Shibuya after this stream. In that case we might be grabbing something there, but when we eat out now, it's usually more based on like we need to find a place that is convenient to come with a baby. The food they serve is like secondary. Do your arms ever hurt holding up the camera so long? No, I mean, it's not a heavy setup that I'm using. It's just a smartphone and a lightweight gimbal, so it's not really a problem. What does hurt sometimes is, like now, for example, I just came from a photo assignment, so I'm carrying my camera bag. So walking around with that hanging over my shoulder for potentially several hours can be a little bit tiring. Would it be worth doing the JLPT? Like, personally, I don't see how it would benefit me in any way, so that's why I'm not doing it. But yeah, I think if I would like try to get like a normal job sometime, then maybe it would be helpful to have kind of a solid proof of my Japanese language abilities. I should come here at night because this street is quite nice at night this time of the year when they have all these illuminations. I actually have a video from this street from last year. So if you're interested, you can check that out. Will you show us Ikebukuro sometime? There's several videos from Ikebukuro on my channel, but I haven't streamed from there, and I would like to do that sometime, but it's a bit far from where I live, so it's a little bit difficult to fit it in the schedule, but it's probably gonna happen at some point. There are two other buildings with probably very expensive apartments. When you and your wife talk, is it mainly in Japanese or English? I would say it's like 50% English, and then the other 50% is split evenly between Swedish and Japanese. This little plaza here is quite nice. What are those boxes on the trees? Boxes on the trees. I'm not sure. Thank you, Gorath. Are you plan to go on to Yoyogi Park anytime soon? I was actually streaming from Yoyogi Park just a few days ago. I passed through there at a stream. Can't say that I have any plans to go there again, but then again, it's not too far away, the areas that I usually visit, so who knows, it might happen. Yes, my wife is also trilingual. Okay, boxes. Yeah, probably electricity circuits for the illumination. Smoking area guarded by 4 white cones. Your roommate is looking for an apartment in the Yoyogi area? I see. If so, I would highly recommend to the west of the park itself, in the Tomigaya area. That's a very nice area, but it's also very expensive. this is kind of like a mall. There's also a museum up here, and you have these residential buildings as well. So it's a little bit of everything. It is pretty quiet, yeah. I'm a bit surprised. Cute Christmas decorations here. So we're just at the base of Roppongi Hills. So here's the observatory, the elevator to get to the top floor of the Roppongi Hills Tower, where there's the Mori Art Museum and also the very nice observation deck. Haruki... inte Haruki Murakami. Murakami... what's his name? The artist Murakami. Brain freeze right now. But the guy who makes these apparently has his little cafe here. Oh, and here we have a nice little view. Takashi Murakami. Thank you. Takashi Murakami. Would you ever do a live stream from the Roppongi Hills Tower observation deck? Potentially, but the thing is that stream would only be from there, because I'm pretty sure that as soon as I leave that place and take the elevator down, I would get disconnected. And I think that I would probably need some sort of permit in order to stream from there, or I would risk getting into trouble. It's a really nice view, and the sky and the colors and everything is just so nice. Yeah, that museum is pretty nice, the Mori Art Museum. Let's see if we can get a view of it. Yeah, there's a pretty nice garden down here as well, with beautiful autumn colors right now. And yeah, this is the Terebi Asahi. I guess it's their head office, not sure, but one of their offices and also a recording studio. I've actually been on a couple of programs that was filmed in there. Thunderstorms in Brisbane, wow. It's super nice. It's close to a perfect day over here, I would say. So here we have the famous spider statue, and of course I forgot the name of the artist again, but yeah, all I remember is that it's a female artist, and I think her name sounds pretty French. Oh wow, here we have a Haven't seen this one before. This is also the Takashi Murakami statue. This is new. Do you eat mostly Japanese food at home or a mix of Swedish Japanese? Mostly Japanese. Yeah, mostly Japanese, but we also cook pasta relatively often. At least I do. Whenever it's my turn to cook, I'm such a bad chef, and one of the only things I can make is like pasta. So we eat pasta quite often. I'm not Japanese, I am Swedish. That's the name, Louis Bourgeois. That's the name of the artist who made the spider statue, yes. Thank you. All the steam coming out. Kitchen in Japanese apartments are quite small. It really depends on the apartment. I would say the one in our apartment is similar in size to what we would find in Sweden, but yeah, in lots of, there's a ton of small, really tiny apartments here in Japan, and obviously those tiny apartments also comes with tiny kitchens. So Roppongi station is actually back this way, but I think I will head down here towards, which is actually towards Shibuya, but I will try to leave this main road and head through the quieter residential areas instead, which are much nicer. So if I go down this way, there are some really nice neighborhoods. Just need to find a place where we can actually cross this. For this stream. Thanks so much for watching. Do we have many North American viewers, or is it too late? It's like midnight on the East Coast, right? But that means that it's not that late on the West Coast. Have you done weather yet? Yes, I have. It's 15 degrees. Obviously very sunny. Whoa, this is also interesting. Egyptian and Arabian cuisine. Wow. California hundälskare. Good name. I'm more of a cat person, but dogs are cute too. Canada reporting in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, not too late, so still a few Americans enjoying their weekend. Okay, we can cross here. Great. Great. Oh, thank you, Yanni. Thank you so much. But it's really not necessary. You don't need to do that every stream. too much. Let's try heading down here. What will you miss most about Japan when you leave? The food and the safety, I think. But also the fact that I know that I will miss living in a big city like Tokyo. Even though I often complain and say that it's too big, but I know that as soon as I leave this place I will miss having this massive playground disguised as a city just beyond my doorstep. So Nishi Azabu, which is also one of these quite fancy sounding areas. I'm leaving eventually. No exact time has been set yet, but both me and my wife think that Tokyo is not the ideal place to raise a child. So at least before she enters school, we don't want to be here. Lesser number of people walking on the sidewalks, or lesser number of cars on the roads? Probably a bit less, yeah, compared to like a year ago or something, because after all a lot of people do work from home now, and there's also basically zero tourists, so especially in areas like Roppongi and other, like, you know, well-known neighborhoods where there used to be a lot of tourists, it's way more quiet now. Why Tokyo not a nice place to raise a child? It's not that bad, but it's just too urban. I want her to grow up with more surrounded by nature rather than surrounded by glass, concrete and steel. So that's one of the main reasons. But you know, if we compare different cities, I would probably say that Tokyo is probably one of the better big cities to raise a child. So it's not all bad, it's just, yeah, it's more personal preference than anything. But then also I don't have that much high trust in the Japanese education system, so that's also a deciding factor that makes us consider leaving this country. Hokkaido would be nice, yeah. Hokkaido is definitely in many ways a better place to raise a child, I think. Hello Yari, welcome to the stream. This looks like a nice street over here. After walking this residential area, will you go back to Roppongi station? No. I'm probably heading towards Shibuya, and we'll probably end the stream there, because I'm supposed to meet my wife there. Anyway, so. do a little map check here. Have you ever been in an earthquake? Yes, many times. Because I've been living here for 13 years and it's earthquakes quite frequent. So yes, it's just a everyday thing here, or not an everyday thing, but you know, it happens so often that after a while you don't even care much about it. Have you been to that ramen shop across the street? I haven't, but it does indeed look tempting now, doesn't it? So this is actually one of the biggest graveyards in central Tokyo, the Aoyama Reien. And I think if I follow this street and then turn left, I think we'll be getting close to Omotesando station. That's the Tokyo Midtown that you're seeing in the middle of the frame right now, which is also pretty interesting, big shopping and residential complex with a pretty nice park at the foot of it, and it also houses the Fujifilm, I think they call it the Fujifilm Square, which is kind of small showroom slash gallery made by Fujifilm, where you can also get a hands-on all their cameras, which is quite nice. So yeah, as you can see, this is a graveyard. So peaceful here. It's a massive graveyard. If you look up on Google Maps, you will see just how big it is, and considering that it's on top of some of the most valuable land in this city, it's quite interesting. Oh, am I near an army base? I did not know that there was an army base around here. But you said you would miss food from Japan. What would you miss most? Just the fact that there are so many great restaurants here. where you can eat like really satisfying meals for very little money, at least compared to Sweden. You know, being able to go out and spend just like $10, the equivalent of $10 on a meal, and you can kind of already know that you will get something good. That's very that's not the case in most other places I lived. If you're paying like something like $10, you would at best get like some really crappy junk food. Favorite food there? Oh, it's so much. I can't really pick one thing, but I'm a big seafood lover, so I love sushi and sashimi. Eat a lot of fish and seafood, so that's definitely one thing. But I also really enjoy things like soba and tempura and ramen, and there's Japanese food in general. To me, Japanese food is like the best food in the world. When was the last time you used celluloid negatives? Oh, I can't even remember. And when I shot film, I often shot Kodak Portra, but this was like what, 15 years ago probably, so really long time ago. You were scared of sashimi. Why were you scared of sashimi? I would miss natto. Raw food, never had it before. Oh, okay. And then I guess you haven't been to Japan, because there's a lot of raw food here. And I don't know, here in Japan I feel very confident when it comes to the safety of eating raw food. I've even had raw chicken here a couple of times, chicken sashimi, which is like the biggest no-no ever in many other parts of the world. Haven't worked with film since you left Germany. Pretty much, yeah. Even back then I was mostly shooting digital. Ever tried fugu? Yeah, several times. Had it last week? No, 2 weeks ago when I was in Obama. I had fugu. It's okay, but it's nothing special, if you ask me. Salmon or tuna? Actually I prefer salmon. But if it's really good tuna, it can be nice. But lower grade tuna is nothing that I quite fancy that much. But when it comes to salmon, like, quality just doesn't matter that much. Even cheap salmon is fine by me. How did the raw chicken taste? I've had it a couple of times. My favorite one was like lightly grilled on the outside, but the inside was still raw. And then you had it with, I think, with ginger and wasabi, or if it was only wasabi and soy sauce. So you ate it like sashimi, and that was actually really good. So I would definitely go for that again if I got the chance. But that kind of food, I would make sure to check the reviews of the place beforehand to make sure that it's a reliable restaurant. For the stream. Thanks for watching. Yeah, like I said, I would never eat raw chicken anywhere else but in Japan, but and it's not something that I would order myself, but I was with a friend who ordered it, and after having like just one small bite just to try it, I actually thought it was really delicious. I think we've had, at that point we already had a few drinks, so yeah, maybe that was also could have something to do with it. Raw eggs, yeah, raw eggs are super common here. Like just a bowl of rice and you crack a raw egg on top of it. That's like the most typical Japanese student food, I would say. Like rice, raw egg, a splash of soy sauce, tamago kake gohan. But just in general, cracking raw eggs on top of things is popular. And I never heard even a single person who had any problems with that, like in terms of getting sick or anything. It's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. Now we are getting close to Omotesando station, which, as I'm sure that most of you know, is in turn pretty close to both Shibuya and Harajuku stations. Can you make sushi? No. Sushi in general isn't anything that people cook at home. It's a food that's generally prepared by sushi chefs only. No, this is not Roppongi anymore. We've left Roppongi. We're in Omotesando now. Or to be precise, we're at Minami Aoyama is the address of this area. Just about 65 minutes so far. Yeah. Good time. I think I will be hitting Shibuya close to the 90-minute mark, so that would be a very appropriate length for this stream. Thank you, S. Yeah, what's Laura doing? Good question. Do you eat shrimp sashimi? Oh, yeah, that's good. Shrimp is good. I like shrimp. What kind of ramen do you like the most? I like the not so thick and heavy one. Like, I'm not so fond of the pork broth or tonkotsu ramen. I more prefer like soy or salt based ramen, and ideally with a bit of yuzu in it. That's my favorite. Ah, Laura, welcome, just as we were talking about you. Yeah, well, I guess a lot of people are not so fond of raw seafood. And I can kind of understand. I mean, it has a pretty specific texture that I can see that a lot of people are a bit uncomfortable with and maybe not so familiar with. But personally, I love it. There's only a few kinds of seafood that I don't like, and one is shirako. You can Google it if you want to see what it looks like, and also read up on what it is. Once you know what it is, and once you see what it looks like, it's pretty gross to me. So that's one thing. And then I'm also not so fond of certain like fermented fish dishes that are quite common here. Thanks again, S. Raw oysters, that's good. I like that too. Raw oysters are really good. Shiraku, yeah, they look like brains. They do indeed look like small brains. This is one of Prada's flagship stores in Tokyo. It's a pretty cool building. I did a photo shoot with an influencer a couple of years ago, and she really wanted lots of photos shot here with this building as a backdrop. She was some sort of fashion influencer. But it's a pretty interesting building. I'm not sure about lunch yet. It depends if I'll be having it alone or if I'm meeting up with my wife and daughter. I'm really hungry, so today I kind of fancy some meat, like a good juicy burger or something like slightly on the junk side of things would be nice today. Yeah, she was paying, so of course I was happy to shoot her around there. Even though I said I love Japanese food in general, but every now and then I also crave like good burgers. This is a nice street. Horse sashimi. Horse sashimi is okay. I don't know why Japanese mainly eat horse meat raw though. I think it's much more tasty if it's cooked. Like in general, raw meat is not that delicious, but well. Basashi, yes, that's what raw horse meat is called in Japanese. Oh, thank you, M-chan. 99 cents. That would, if it's for a hamburger, yeah, it would be a cheap McDonald's hamburger. But thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, horse meat is taboo in Sweden too. I don't get it though. I mean, if we eat meat in general, then I don't really see any moral reasons why certain kinds of meat are more okay than others. Although the whole concept of eating meat is definitely something that I think should be questioned. And even though I'm a happy meat eater myself, I also see a lot of issues with how, whole meat production and meat industry, as well as the whole environmental impact and whatnot. So it's a tricky subject. Thank you, Warren Kong. Yoshinoya desu. Yoshinoya? Not sure, but thank you. Wow, Yanni, that's very exotic. Crocodile and kangaroo meat. I would like to try that. Never had any of those. Which do you like better, Yoshinoya or Sukiya? I'm not a big fan of either, but probably I would say Yoshinoya have a slightly better image of Yoshinoya. It feels like it's just a little bit higher quality than Sukiya. Have you tried whale or dolphin? Whale a couple of times. Shadow reveal there, or reflection reveal. So yeah, whale has actually been served to me a couple of times on a few trips that I've been to. I've never ordered it myself, and I don't think it's okay to eat it. I've tried like just a bite, but it was really not tasty at all, so I'm not a fan of it. You think Yoshinoya is clearly best. Why? Nikon upgrade plans, if at all? Not right now, no. I'm so happy with my Z7. So I don't really feel any need to upgrade at the moment. Like I said before, the only reason would be to have that extra peace of mind of the second memory card slot, but yeah, it would cost quite a bit to upgrade, so right now I don't really feel that it's necessary. Is there a Blue Seal ice cream in Tokyo? Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. At least there are shops selling Blue Seal ice cream. Not sure if they have any shops on their own though. Kuaina. They have pretty decent burgers. Not great, but decent. this building is really cool as well. It always looks a bit scary to me. Like, I'm wondering how it will cope with earthquakes. It looks so like front heavy. Second memory card slot redundancy and security is rather illusionary. The second slot is not truly independent. What do you mean? Like, I mean, it's not an entirely unlikely scenario that you have one memory card fail, and if you have, you know, the same data written to both, and the first card gets like entirely corrupted, at least you have the, you know, you have the data on the second one. To me, it's something I used to have on my previous cameras before I went mirrorless, and it just made me feel a little bit extra safe. What I usually did was having raw images written to the faster card, and then used slower card slots for highest quality JPEGs, which was also pretty useful if you really needed to send something very quickly. Then you already had the JPEGs without needing to convert them to RAW. So $4-liter ice cream. Wow, I don't think I've seen that anywhere. That's a lot of ice cream. I think in Sweden we have 2 liters. That's the biggest one. But given that a lot of people have pretty limited space in their freezers here, and also given the fact that ice cream is not super popular, I don't think it would be a big market for it. In general, like, smaller packages of everything here in Japan. Oh, lots of cones. Have you been to Tsukiyabashi Giro? No, I have not. Someone told me that he lost the Michelin stars basically because people can't go there. It's so popular, and only like people with like the right connections are able to make a booking there now. And according to the Michelin guidelines, that's apparently not okay. Like, it needs to be restaurants that anyone can go to. Yep, UN University here. Pretty interesting building. Hard Euro's overrated as well. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. People often say that it's much better to go to the shop that's run by his brother instead, where like the quality of the food is the same but the prices are like half. I'm not sure if that still applies as well. Ah, I see. That's interesting. But it has to do with how the Michelin guide was created. But it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. You've seen this statue in a few walks. Yeah. Shibuya is a place I often return to, so just because it's so accessible compared to where I live. Yeah, that's actually made by the same artist that made the Osaka Expo statue. So well spotted. Yeah, Tokyo is pretty good this time of the year. There is something special about the light. I totally agree. No cones. Currently no cones. Area going to Shibuya. Yes, we will be in Shibuya in a few minutes. When do you think you'll take your daughter for a first ride on a Shinkansen? Good question. I hope we can go on a trip all together sometime soon, like maybe within the next couple of months. Not sure if it will be anywhere that we will take the Shinkansen though. It might be it's quite likely that we will be going to Hakone. So then we won't be taking Shinkansen. But somewhere relatively close to Tokyo, just for like one night stay. For the Shinkansen, impossible to say, really. Who knows, maybe she will fly before she rides the Shinkansen. Yes, romance car is probably what we will be taking. Such a perfect timing. We're like 1 hour and 26 minutes into the stream and we're just about to reach Shibuya. Excellent. Yeah, somewhere close to Mount Fuji would be a good first trip, I think. In terms of distance, it's not so bad. this walking so good for you. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I keep doing it. 11,500 steps today so far, and I haven't even had lunch yet. We're getting close to Shibuya crossing. Tokyo 2020. Well, even if the Olympics take place next year, which I don't think they will, but if they do, they will still have the branding as Tokyo 2020. So that's why they still keep those flags. You see it on the taxi as well. Let's Shibuya. Shibuya Station. Miyashita Park, which I won't go to today. No, I do not use a GoPro. Read the video description, please. Okay, friends, we're at Shibuya Crossing and Shibuya Station, where I think I will end this stream. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a good walk from Roppongi to Shibuya. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Good exercise. And I hope to see you all again soon. Maybe tomorrow, who knows. Okay, thanks for watching and bye bye. Mata ne. Hello.